Blessings to each of you graduates of Wellspring Christian Family Schools 2022. Today your achievement is recognized. You are a privileged graduate going forth on your journey highly endowed. You hold all of the promises of God for yourself and access to the highest level of all wisdom. You can solve problems with biblical backing and stand on convictions with a solid foundation. This is your heritage. This is your preparation for what lies ahead. I envision you being part of that community that works to restore rather than destroy. A part of that community which shares gospel, Christ-paid hope to those who you encounter. A part of that community who chooses life and encourages others to weigh their choices. You have the same God and many of the same opportunities as Teen Daniel of our scriptures had, who did not respond with anger or disgust to his culture, but with quiet obedience he responded until his core convictions were specifically violated. Maybe God included Daniel in his word for you for just this age. With all of these superlatives, what challenge could I possibly give to you, you might be thinking. I was thinking that too. Well, consider this. Beware of acceptable sins. Now, problem solving is a skill that I'm sure you're learning, along with how and when to seek counsel. This acceptable sin that I want to share with you has to do with problem solving. And I think you really know that acceptable sins are not acceptable sins. Here is the acceptable sin I want to consider with you: solving a problem by running away. Only very rarely is that the good and godly solution to a problem. Think of this. Think of someone who is dissatisfied with his church. He discovers that there's another church that doesn't have that problem, so he decides to make a shift. Or consider this, a boss who is unreasonable, and so another job is sought and resumes sent out. Or, how about this one? A parent and older teen differ in opinion, and the teen begins to envision getting out from under that parental pressure. Perhaps for a few days or a few weeks, these problems seem solved by running. But in the process, something very major has been overlooked. What was the goal in the problem-solving illustrations you just heard? Obviously, the goal was for the burdened problem bearer to feel better, to become more comfortable, to be personally better satisfied. But wait, is personal comfort our highest goal in problem solving? Let's rethink this. Suppose for you, the highest goal in problem solving is for both you and those around you, those watching you, would have the opportunity to see how God's own seek to recognize him, seek to make him known, and seek to show how glorious he is in all his ways. So you're in this nasty boss situation. What might you do to show God at work? 1, there are 4 things. Ready? 1, thank him for trusting you with this hard trial. This will also help you shift your focus from yourself to him. Just pause while you're going through that problem. Pause and thank him that you are trusted with dealing with that problem with him. 2, ask God, beg him actually, to direct your reaction so that no one will doubt that God is leading. 3, tell God that you want, tell God that you desire that He be the one that is recognized, that He be the one that everyone knows is in charge. 4, take the next step, the step that you would follow by following your trustworthy God's direction. Well, for me, it was rarely ever run, escape, seek my own comfort. You, dear graduate of Wellspring Christian Family Schools 2022, will choose the road that is narrow, pointing always to your wise, sovereign, creator, almighty God. I trust you with that. Please accept this virtual hug from me as you graduate today. And listen to this from Psalm 91 and 2. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations, before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. I love you, graduate.